I've always found myself being the champion of underused and underrated items in Stardew Valley. Big fan of crab pots. They're a passive and less frustrating way to train fishing. Love the way bee houses encourage you to use otherwise inefficient crops. Heck, I'm one of those freaks that enjoys the slime hutch. But there's one item I'll refuse to craft that I don't believe is worth it in any situation at all. The worm bin. For those of you blessed enough to be unaware, the worm bin provides 2 to 5 bait every day. Not bad, not the most valuable of resources, but you'll have some whenever you need it. It's pretty good. It could get you through the early game where you don't have as much money to buy bait and aren't comfortable delving into the mines. Oh, it's unlocked at level 8 fishing. Okay, well, most people will maybe have that by some— oh, it takes an iron bar. Well, that's not too bad. You don't have to go too far into the mines. Oh, a gold bar. Okay, that's a bit more, but at least gold can be bought, and that's the only valuable resource. 25 hardwood and 50 fiber. 25 hardwood and 50. So all 4 of the ingredients used to craft a worm bin are valuable resources, none of which can be directly bought. They all need to be processed or worked for. Why do the worms need gold? Is it for electricity? Do we need wiring to worm the worms in winter? If you're curious about how much these items would sell for directly, it'd be 980 gold, assuming you have the blacksmith profession. But I want to give some special attention to the 50 fiber. See, it's become well known that tea saplings are one of the best moneymakers in the game, selling for 500 gold at the cost of only 5 fiber and some wood and seasonal seeds. So the 50 fiber used for one worm bin could alternatively be used for 5,000 gold worth of tea saplings. We could even be more conservative with this and subtract the price of the seeds and wood used to make the sapling, setting us at 3,500 gold. So even without all the ways you could alternatively make money with a gold bar, iron bar, and 25 hardwood, you are straight up sacrificing 4,430 gold of raw profit for some worms. Hell, you know what? Money can be used to buy goods and services, so that 4,430 gold could just outright buy you 886 bait, which you could then store in a chest for whenever you need it without having to check a machine every single day. By the way, do you want to know how long it would take one worm bin to produce 886 bait, assuming you checked it every single day? 253 days, over 2 years in-game. Now, I've seen many people argue, oh, well, if you put your worm bin right next to the crab pots you have on the beach, you'll be good. It'll always produce you the bait that you need. You want to know what else can produce the bait for whenever you need it? A chest full of bait. So what changes would I make to the worm bin to make it worth it? Well, first of all, the level requirement is wild. This is the same level that you unlock kegs, mega bombs, and explosive ammo in other skills. Hardly equivalent. Let's knock it down to level 4. Close to when you unlock the fishing rod and crab pots that can actually use the bait. Second, the ingredients. Bump that gold bar down to a 2nd iron and set the hardwood and fiber to 5. This is honestly still more than I would personally call worth it, but I don't want to change it that drastically. Finally, instead of a random 2 to 5 pieces of bait every day, just a solid 5 will do. This way you can place it next to 5 crab pots and actually know that you will get enough bait for what you need, instead of getting shorted half the time. Under these new calculations, it'll take about 31 days for the worm bin to pay for itself. And gosh, you know what? Let's give it a 10% chance to produce 3 wild bait instead. Honestly, that's what I thought it did in the first place before I actually used it. I mean, wild bait literally has a worm. It makes sense. Listen, I'm okay with some methods in the game not being as good as others. Like I said, love crab pots. Not fantastic, but under the right circumstances and with enough put into them, they can be better than regular fishing. You usually lose a little money when putting a fruit or vegetable into a seed maker, but you can get seeds that aren't usually available in a certain season. And you always have a chance of getting a rare ancient seed. There's trade-offs. I fail to see the trade-offs of a worm bin. It's the only item in the game that I think drastically needs a change. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. See you in the next one, and good night.